Hey guys, so it is time to do my due diligence here as an American. So, as you probably know, Yang Gang, what's up? I know you guys are watching because you guys are loyal as fuck. I really, really, really love Andrew Yang. Just to give you guys just a brief summary of what my journey has been like these past couple of months. So I had saw like in like YouTube's recommendation, uh, Andrew Yang and Joe Rogan's podcast, the clip of him talking about should college be free or why he doesn't believe in like Bernie's free college theory, and I thought that was very interesting. So I'm like, oh okay, that's interesting. Like, I can see where there's to like I can see where it can be a debate because I'm not in college right now anymore. I'm doing like I have a job and then I do my ASMR and that's like my side hustle. So I understand where like college is not for everybody. But on the other hand, I do love learning. I do love education. Like I was like an A and B student, so like I was a nerd in that regard. So I understand that part too. And so I was like, okay, let's just see. Sure. As I was seeing that clip, I'll definitely look in the description below. It was like the catalyst to me, like being introduced to Andrew Yang. So when I was watching that clip, I was like, very like, okay. Like I was waiting to him to get to the punchline, but like I started to realize that like Andrew Yang, I'd never heard him before in my life, by the way, beforehand. But as he was talking, I was just more like engaged with like him and just like I was like, yeah, I wanted to get to like the okay, why doesn't he believe in like free college, universal like free college, um, or universal like education? But like, I was just so like, I don't mind hearing him talk though. Like, he's just an interesting talker, and I think I just liked him as a person. And then when you finally got to the okay, I like the spirit of free college, but I do not think that it is the answer to the problems that we're going to be having in the future. And it's not like it's a kind of it's kind of like I wouldn't say a cover up like a solution, but it kind of is. It's like there's like an underlying issue that is wrong with society rather than just like saying okay everybody if everybody has like equal opportunity and education then we'll all be fine, so I thought that was very interesting. I was like, well, let me like look at the whole Joe Rogan podcast because I like Joe Rogan. I've seen like multiple people up there. Like I love watching like long form content, so obviously I've watched like hours and hours of like for instance like Joey Diaz and like stuff like that. So yeah, so I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch him. And boy, oh boy, when I saw him on Joe Rogan, I was like, oh my god, like this guy's really he's smart and he's talking about something that I've never really thought about. Like, his his main point was his main example of automation, which is when machines slash robots slash algorithms will take over most of American jobs or most just people's jobs in general, not just for America, but it's definitely happening in America. And nobody's really talking about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess nobody's really talking about it. And then the whole self-driving truck thing and how truckers will lose their jobs. I was like, oh yeah, they will. And people are not going to take that very well. You would think that if it was like the perfect society, that people were like, okay, cool, I don't have to drive this like crazy ass car for like hours and hours and like just like stay stuck in this like constant like workload cycle. That people would be relieved that like you have to drive a truck anymore. But then it's like, okay, what do you do to make money? And I was like, oh yeah, that's true too. And then it reminded me of this other podcast that I love. It's called Deep Fat Fried. I'll definitely put that in the link in the description. It's if you guys know The Amazing Atheist, him, his real name is TJ, or Thomas Kirk, but it's TJ, and him, his brother, and his friend, Scotty and Paul, they do a podcast, and I love it a lot. And I remember, like, literally, like, a couple of weeks prior to me watching this Joe Rogan interview of Yang, this podcast, D5, they were talking about how, like, I believe, like, in Arizona, they were testing out self-driving cars, and people were, like honking at it, and, like, some people were vandalizing the cars, or, like, they were doing, like, acting very crazy about it. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with people? People are so stupid. Like, why are you, why like, why are you being so defensive over a car that can drive itself? It's probably a better driver than you. And I was like, yeah, why are people like that? I'm just thinking, like, you guys wanted the shit from, like, Back to the Future. Like, you wanted, people think they want that, like, futuristic world, but, like, when it's actually coming, people are like scared of it. They're like, whoa, wait, we actually are, like, getting shit that, like, is gonna be new and inventive, and it's gonna, like, probably be the better for us. Oh no, let's not have that anymore. But when I listened to Yang, it made sense. It was like, oh, the reason why people are mad is because this means that people are gonna lose their jobs eventually, and that's what the self-driving cars mean for people. It's actually that it's not only just change, but it's like a threat to your livelihood. And then I was like, oh wait, this is something that, like, we have to address as, like, a people. Like, I'd never thought about this problem before. Again, I'm one of the people that were more like, distant from politics. I mean, I like to know what's happening, but like, when I watch, like, honestly, like, DFAT Friday is, like, my main source of, like, knowing, like, current news and stuff. They talk about politics quite frequently, but they talk about, current events and, like, just cultural stuff in general, like entertainment, movies, and everything like that. But I never really gotten into politics like I am right now. That's because, as you all probably know, and if you don't know, that's okay. The Yang Gang is it's a very open arms, welcoming kind of gang. Andrew Yang makes a great point. Like, geez, it's just so crazy how I'm gonna get more philosophical here. Like, trust me, if you really want to know what Yang's all about, I'll link below the Joe Rogan Experience podcast down below, because he is a more compelling speaker than I am, or he's way more better at explaining himself than I am on his behalf. But I'll just say, on a philosophical level, I just think that he is so important right now, because he kind of symbolizes, like, oh, let's, like, wake up and, like, get engaged in, like, the world that we're living in right now, because so many people are disengaged with politics because they just see it as political theater, which it is. It is. But now Yang is actually presenting real problems with real solutions and an optimistic perspective, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, this is what I needed. This is what I needed for my politics. This is what I needed the whole time. Not this, like, crazy ass bullshit. Now, granted, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, I guess my political affiliation right now. Just it's really funny. I'm really bizarre, if you haven't noticed. But my parents were registered Democrats, and I registered as a Democrat. And and I'm 20 right now, so the first election that I could vote in was Trump versus Hillary. The main presidential election. That's the first one that I could vote in for, right? And I was like, well, this is bullshit. Like, I don't like either of these people. Like, honestly, I think in the primaries I voted for Bernie Sanders, I believe. But brain didn't get it. And I noticed that like a lot of things were bugging me at the time. First of all, I was a senior in high school, which I was already depressed as a motherfucker. But I was like, okay. And I used to I was trifling. But my perspective is like, listen, I don't know what is going on here, but like I feel like something should change. And I, within that perspective, like many people were like, I don't care what's happening. I don't want Hillary because she's gonna keep things very stagnant in our society. I feel like so I did not want her. I don't care if she's a fucking woman. I don't care if she's like whatever. Like I don't want her. And I just no, I didn't care for it. So I was like, what about Trump? And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind voting for Trump just to like let the world burn. Like honestly, like, I just don't give a shit anymore at this point. Like if people really like, I just felt like at that point like we probably deserve like the worst. And I know I'm telling you right now, this is how I think. I think really holistically. I know that people in general won't like change if like bad shit go that like doesn't go down. Like we need like terrible shit to go down in order for us to actually open our eyes and see like, oh shit, we have to like help like the situation that is occurring right now. So that's one reason why at the end of the day I did vote for Trump. Not because I really liked him, but because of the reason that like I just don't even care. Like I just want to like get like let Mad Max happen. Like if Trump leads to Mad Max, and I'm fine. Like Mad Max Fury Road. Like I just don't give a shit anymore. Sure, I believe that I just no. I just believe that like I'm a strong person, so and I can deal with a lot of things. So like if like okay like Trump is gonna I just didn't care. And then this is where like it gets really dark. And here, like I used to watch a lot of Milo Yiannopoulos, and when I used to watch his rallies, it was very interesting because he championed Trump as like a symbol for free speech. A couple of other things too, but like the what I latched onto was the free speech thing. I was like, okay, like I don't really care for like this like liberal like political correctness phase that America is going through. I guess I am more liberal minded, but like I'm not like very alt left to that. I that it gets hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? For example, like I don't think that all cis white males are like evil. Like like I actually am attracted to white guys. But but like I like that's one thing I'm like, okay, I don't like that. I don't think that like gay black women are like the pinnacle of society or the best human beings and we should be treated as like the best. I mean, we're cool, but like other people are cool too. Sorry, I'm spitting. Other people are cool too. So like shit like that. So that's why I'm like, okay, like Milo is crazy, but I do agree that like if Trump is the president, it will kind of enable people to say what they want. And of course, I'm not going to agree with everything that people are, I don't agree with racism. And I don't think that Trump is like, people think that like what he stands for is racism. I think he just stands for in the macro, like just truth. He lies a lot, but I think people are right now like the truth is coming out about a lot of uh, about how bad things can get. I'll say that. I think that's the best way to explain it. So because of all that, and honestly, like I kind of was on the right track because the reason why Yang like the cat, there's a couple of reasons what led up to Andrew Yang running for president, but like the thing that really set him off was when sorry the one thing that my allergies the one thing that really set him off was when Trump won the presidency, and that was his like antenna being like, whoa, people are hurting, like this we have really have to I have to do something about this because it seems like nobody else is trying to help Americans. Like people are really hurting. um, that they're, that's what his thing is. What he says that people elected a narcissist TV reality show as the president. Um, Reality show person as their president. So I was like, yeah, people are. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, yeah, you get it. Like, it was a cry for help. For me, like, again, I'm more on the lines of like, let's let the world burn. But it was another cry for help in terms of like freedom of speech. Like, I really do think that people, that some weird shit is happening with our society that like we just can't like have like reasonable communication. It's happening on the far left and the far right, I believe, but I think more so on the far left at this point. But yeah, essentially it was a cry for help, and I'm just gonna roll back to the Joe Rogan experience. When I was like, as I was watching the hour and 40 minutes or so interview, and Yang was saying like, oh, that's why I'm running for president, da, 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 da. Like, and I was like, wait, what? He's running for president? Like, I didn't know he was running for president when I watched the first clip. But at first I thought he was kidding. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's kidding. Like, he's not running for president. like what? Like, okay, okay. I must have like. He must be joking. I don't know why I didn't believe him, but I was like, no, he's not running for president. And then we kept saying it like throughout the interview, and I saw like his little like pin with the like Yang symbol with the flag, kind of like red and blue and white color. I'm like, oh, I think he is ready for president. I don't think he's trolling. I think he is ready for president. I was like, oh crap, like this has to be happening, right? So I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, and the fact that he is Taiwanese, he is American, but he comes from Taiwanese parents. They came from Taiwanese, which is in China, but I know people are very, very specific. Like, he's Asian American, yes. He's Chinese, yes. But more specifically, he is Taiwanese. I know, guys. Like, not everybody is like, like knows a lot. Like, don't know a lot about Asia, so like just calm down. Like, I know, but I may say like he's Asian American, or I may say he's Chinese, but I know he's Taiwanese. Okay, I know he is. But overall, he's American. Okay, he is born in America, which is why he can run for president. So, the fact that he is that, was like, oh snap! Like, an Asian person's gonna run for president. I'm like, that's interesting. And, I'm down for that because, I love Asian culture. As you all know, I love K-pop. I'm learning Korean. Like, I know Korean and Chinese are different. Like, but I still adore Asian people on a macro sense. I think they're awesome. That sounds like kind of patronizing. I appreciate Asian people. So I was like, okay, Andrew, I see you. Like, look at you trying to make moves and stuff. And that was very interesting, which makes me like him more. Like, it just does. And then the fact that he is so American, like the way that he speaks is very like familiar to me. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like I feel like I know him. And I think a lot of people get that have that feeling with Yang as well. It's like you feel like he understands you. It's really bizarre. It's like have I seen this guy before? Like, I don't know. The way that he speaks is very it just is very like comforting, but also like he's funny too. He can be quirky, not like the corny quirky that a lot of like people try to like pull off. Like, he is genuinely just like a happy guy for the most part. So I don't know, like that was my first impression of him, and give you guys a background of like what my political like mindset was during like Trump and how it's changed now. Basically, I was disengaged. I was like, let the world burn prior, but now I've moved on to and matured to like, okay, I'm so for Yang. I'm like watching everything, guys. I'm watching everything, every long form interview he's had. I've watched. Not every like 4 minute or like 10 minute interview he's like he's had for like sorry, my nose is running, for like CNN and like Fox. I've seen most of them, but like not all of them because again I'm more for like long form content. But I've seen like a lot of shit of Yang. I've seen like all of his rallies that people have been posting on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for posting those rallies. Like I love y'all so much because it is like it gets me so hype. And I'm gonna end with this. I am actually going to be at the New York rally this Tuesday, May 14th. I am so excited. It's gonna be my first rally. And by the way, I did donate it to Yang. I remember when I first saw like the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm so sorry, I got my nose. The Joe Rogan podcast. I got on like a binge. I was like, let me watch everything. I need to know more about this guy. And I think like by like the end, like it was like a couple of days later when I got my paycheck from my job, I was like, okay, I'm donating. Like hands down, donating. I donated $15. It was the first time I ever donated to a campaign. It's the first time I've ever really considered donating to a campaign. Like even Bernie Sanders, like I didn't donate to Bernie at all because I wasn't that into politics at the time. Like just up until Yang. So that was the first time I did that. And then now, like I really wanted to go to the Washington D.C. rally because I live in Delaware. So that's pretty close to Delaware, but I just didn't have enough money. I was like, okay, like I can't do it. Oh, I want to, but I can't. But now, like I'm ready. Like I already bought my bus passes to New York and back. And I bought a t-shirt. I wanted to get the hat too, but again, like a little expensive. But I did get like the shirt with his like cartoon face up there and then Yang on the back. So I cannot wait for that to happen. I may do an ASMR of me like rubbing like the shirt on the mic because somebody had like said that on. I comment a lot on the Yang videos and the rallies and stuff. And people notice that my name is Monet ASMR. So people are like, oh, you should do like ASMR of like, you know, rubbing like his merch on the mic or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I probably will. I'm so into it all. But yeah, hopefully that'll come in time. But yeah, guys, so I want to wrap this up because I have to go to work actually right now. But I'm so glad I did this video because I've been holding all this inside my body for so long. I'm like, I want to tell you guys how excited I am for Yang. I'm 100% like I think he's gonna win the whole thing. I think he's gonna be the underdog, and people love an underdog, and he's actually making sense, and he is bringing hope to people. He's bringing people together again. Like I did vote for Trump. Like I do not have any regrets, honestly. I think it's funny though, because like people are like, "What? Like what?" But yeah, he is bringing Trump voters together. He's bringing the liberals, progressive, conservatives, independents, all of y'all, libertarians, all of you guys, and I am eating it up. So, with that, y'all, I'm on my second channel on like my other channel, I may talk about this some more. Actually, I probably will talk about this some more because it's going to get very intense very fast. I'm telling you guys. He's been emailing us and being like, listen, like these rallies have been amazing, but New York is going to be the one that's going to show America like, okay, it's going to like really like be a tell to like how big he is. So yeah, guys. That's it for now. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day and a good night. Okay, peace. Annyeong.